Ladies and gentlemen, the off-season break is over. Regular season hockey is right around the corner. And most importantly, Pucks and Brews, your favorite hockey podcast, hopefully, is back. I am your host, Michael Shade Sparacino, alongside, as always, Liam the Shellmaster Gaudreau. Liam, how you been, man?
Shades, it's been a while. It's great to be back.
It's been a long while. And good news,
What do we got?
we got, I think you know where I'm going with this. As you sneeze again, bless you. Feel better, by the way. Bless you again. And you know, as always,
You can you can take this segment. Yeah, go for it.
you know damn well what we got. Freaking Dunkin' Cold Brew, the large baby. First episode of the season. And man, you are doing terrible over there right now.
I am struggling. I have no voice. I'm sneezing, but you know what? You got a cold brew, so you're happy. That means I'm happy. And Pucks and Brews is back, Shades.
Yeah, just for clarify, large cold brew black right there. Just so you know I
Hashtag
ain't lying.
not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Emphasis
But
on not sponsored. I ain't
but it
trying to
could
get
be.
copyrighted here.
But it could be.
I hope so. Oh, speaking of Duncan, so I literally went to Duncan earlier to get this. Cheers, by the way, buddy. Let me take a sip here.
Cheers. I got a story too
Ah,
after we hear yours. So
this is a very quick one.
what about?
I just for some reason instead of ordering ahead, I just went there and paid for it and Duncan, the app signed me out of nowhere, and I was just like, what the fuck? So I couldn't even get the points for this by the time I signed back in. I was actually low key kind of pissed.
I know because you're just a couple of points away, right? From a free one, right? Every now and then.
A couple points away. Liam, I am no rookie here. I have 3,895 points actively in my account.
Hashtag not a rookie. Well, my story, Shades. I work for this team, obviously, as you know, the
Atlanta Gladiators of the ECHL.
Yes, that's correct. We opened our training camp this past weekend. First day, did a little mic'd up video. Had my lovely cameraman with me, a very, very expensive camera. They're doing a drill right along the left circle. Puck hits the crossbar, flies right to the camera, just misses the camera by an inch,
Oh,
hits my water bottle, a hockey puck dent
holy
in
shit.
the hydro flask, ladies and gentlemen.
Also not sponsored.
Also not sponsored, but
Holy
absolutely
shit.
insane stuff. So there you
That,
go.
dude, that's wild.
And I'm not buying a new one. I'm keeping it. You know why? Because this, no matter where I am, who I'm talking to, is a great story.
Hmm. Yes, here. Oh my God. Wait, so where was your bottle like in position where were you?
So I was on the lower part of the bench where the coaches typically stand. There was a little seating area. I put that down. That's where I put the water bottle, and that was directly adjacent to the cameraman. So when it missed the cameraman, it came straight down. Gravity pulled it down and just dented the absolute hell out of this bottle.
I gotta say, I'm impressed.
Do I know who took the shot? No, the team did not want to tell me.
Oh, of
So
course.
there you go.
I would want them to tell me just so I could like if I was you, I would just like sneak that in the middle of a game as a fun fact.
Oh, I will. I will. Having a scrimmage on Saturday, an inter squad scrimmage. So I'll be sure to bring that up. So
Yeah, that is so I mean props to you for not getting hit. You were standing in the right spot apparently.
always
But
dangerous being on the bench for practice. So if you ever get that opportunity, always wear a helmet, keep your eyes out.
oh yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely wild. And here's the fun fact that I was telling you about while you're getting yourself figured out over there. I just noticed this like an hour before we started recording here that I have two copies of Pokemon Gold version. And little did I realize up until today that one of them is fake. Would you like to play that game with me right now? I know which one is fake.
Yes, I would love to.
All right, let's see if the camera will focus properly. All right. Which one's fake?
The one on the left is fake.
My left or screen left? Screen left. You would be correct. This is the fake one.
There you go.
This is the real one. And the funny thing is, literally yesterday, I was watching a video from one of the game collecting channels that I follow, and they were talking about this exact game. And they did the same exact thing. Guess which one's real and guess which one's fake. I'm like, what a coincidence.
I don't even collect Pokemon like that, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty proud of myself. Did you get it right when you watched this? Did you get it right? You let us know. See?
I actually did get it right because I'm just like, I don't remember Pokemon Gold being that light colored. I remember it being like duller on the case. I mean,
Yeah,
that was the dead giveaway, but there was also like some other factors where you could tell. But
absolutely.
oh yeah, freaking, there's so many things. Like, just like the freaking E placement's different. The logo, like this one, no, this one is like moved over to the left where the E being on the right side. It was just freaking wild. Bless you, Jesus. At least you're muting yourself.
Yeah, my sneezes are actually kind of funny sounding. They're funny sounding.
I'm just waiting to see. Yeah, there it is. I was gonna say, which
There you
one
go.
don't you mute yourself for?
There you go. Yeah, I am struggling a little bit here, but you know what? It's okay. We're gonna push through. We're gonna be all right.
We are gonna push through. You right now was literally me like Wednesday of last week.
It's unbelievable. This pollen is taking me down.
I just got a cold because I got stuck working in the rain all day last Saturday. And then I went to the Jets well, actually, no, it wasn't the home opener. The second home, Jesus Christ.
Come on, continue. Jets home opener. Yeah, what
The
do you got?
Jets, well, the Jets home opener against the Patriots was fantastic. A 24-3 win. That was fantastic. Great. Day
Yes.
well spent. I go to the next game against the Broncos the week after. One of the worst football games you will ever watch. It was raining the entire time. Just just terrible football game.
A
And
nine.
not even from the Jets, just in general, just a bad football game.
Yeah. Oh, Nick's going for Denver. Still
Jesus
trying to
Christ.
find it.
I I can't. I'm so
Thank you.
I'm so disgusted after the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just hoping that just one of these will be the last one. Maybe when we start talking hockey, maybe.
Maybe,
So,
maybe. I'm just waiting for that next sneeze now. Maybe once the Rangers will start up, the Jets will wake up.
yeah, yeah,
So,
absolutely.
all right. So I apologize. Oh my God. I apologize for this longer intro, but I mean, how can you not have
I think this
two
is one of our more entertaining intros.
and there's the camera out of focus already. Oh my God. We're starting this off great. Oh, this is vintage Pucks and Brews right here.
I just got to be muted. That'll be the trifecta.
And then I have to mute myself at some point just because I just know something's going to happen and I'll forget to mute it and we'll hear something we shouldn't hear. And then I'm just, this is all going to happen. Just watch.
How's the cold brew?
Cold brew is good. It's actually been a little bit since I've had one. Oh, one more thing. They discontinued the s'mores cold brew. I was very upset when I found that
No,
out. They
no.
discontinued it.
Why?
I don't know. But I wanted to order it one day and I'm just looking through the app and I was just like, where the hell is this thing? I tried searching for it, nothing. And
Duncan.
they took it off and I was very sad. But I was happy that I got it while it was there.
Yeah, yeah. You did
You
get to give it a try. So
Hey, it was on Pucks and Brews. I did the very first taste test for that.
yeah, yeah. First
Yeah,
one.
and I miss that. I miss it. But I will admit the iced Dunkalette is it's pretty good. So
Ooh.
yeah.
What's the Dunkalette? Is there chocolate in there? What?
So what basically it has It's an espresso drink that with coffee milk,
Okay.
not regular milk, coffee milk. Like it specifically says this, just so you know I'm not lying.
Yeah, there it is. Coffee milk.
Again, not sponsored. I will say that as many times as I need to.
Well,
That
what's
way, if we ever do get strike, I can literally say, watch the video. We say we're not sponsored by them like 10 times.
what's the difference between coffee milk and regular milk, though?
I don't know, but I got the caramel flavor with the Dunkelette, which I get the caramel flavor in general because it's just delicious. And it was really good. And I've got it like 3 days in a row. So
There you go. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
exactly. And fun fact, one more before we end this extended intro, because we have a lot of fun. We have like this is a very interesting week with all the developments here. Tomorrow, did you hear about the Wendy's Krabby Patty meal?
I did not.
Oh my. So tomorrow at every Wendy's nationwide, they are offering a Krabby Patty meal where I believe not only do you get the actual burger, but you get a Frosty as well with fries.
Absolutely tremendous marketing. Great.
It's called the Pineapple Under the Sea Frosty, which is a vanilla frosty with pineapple mango flavored pure swirl, a first of its kind frosty flavor innovation, which I will try it because it's a fucking meal named after something from SpongeBob. I'm fucking trying it. And the Krabby Patty collab burger. The restaurant's take on the famous cartoon burger features a quarter pounder of beef. Nice. Two slices of melty American cheese, lettuce, tomato, pickle, onion, and a top secret crusty collab sauce on a toasted bun. I cannot wait for this. I have been looking forward to this for a week.
Is this a 1 day thing?
No, it is for a limited time.
Okay.
I missed my chance to get the Pokemon cards with the McDonald's Happy Meal. I'm not missing my chance on this. I am waking up early tomorrow, doing what I need to do to get to Wendy's as early as possible before I have to go and leave for work around 12:30. I am doing what I need to do.
Shades, can you do a food review?
I actually might.
Why not?
I actually might.
Let
I'll
us
tell
know.
you all about it on next episode.
Please do. Please do. We'll be looking forward to it. I know I will.
Oh, I'm looking forward to eating that tomorrow and trying the Frosty. So
Yeah. Frosty's a very underrated part of that. You
they
know,
are.
very good. Especially you get the little fruity one now with the pineapple, you know, not straight vanilla. Has the potential to be really good. So
Hey, I'm willing to give this a try. So, and I will be trying it.
hmm.
I mean, it's going to suck having to get up earlier than usual, but it's the price we pay. By the way, I'm working the Mets playoff game tomorrow, so I know you're happy about that.
Ooh, they are cooking. They are cooking, Shades. Just missed winning that game last night. Just missed.
So
So
hold on, I was going for a walk around the park last night because you know I don't watch baseball. And I just get the notification about that game that Nick Castellanos was the one that got the game-winning hit, and I just started dying laughing because I know about the Castellanos meme.
yeah, yeah. Something happened to somebody when he got that walk-off hit. Somebody's
Oh,
grandma died somewhere.
I was uh I was thoroughly entertained just knowing that he was the one that
Yeah,
got the game-winning hit. If it would have been anybody else, I would have just looked at the notification and went, "Okay, that's not important."
yeah. Tough game, but hey, tied 1-1 in the NLDS coming home. Not a
And
bad.
I will be working both of those games. So if for some reason you watch this podcast episode or listen to it before both of those games, if you know me personally or if you see me at the Met game for miraculous reasons, come and say hi. So yeah. Now we get into the actual meat of the episode. Sorry again for the extended intro, but that was we could not pass any of those things up. And plus, it's always a little wonky with the first episode back, right?
Always, always.
Oh, we've already hit a couple of vintage things. But to start the episode, we have to unfortunately talk about the news from, I believe, end of August, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. The unfortunate and tragic deaths of Matthew and Johnny Gaudreau, where for some reason I just decided to check Twitter that morning and I just saw the rumors circulating and I literally started shaking, hoping that it wasn't true, but unfortunately it did turn out to be true. And that was a long day at work because I was just thinking about that all day.
It was and still is extremely tragic. And the hockey family lost two key members in Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau. Matthew, everybody talks about Johnny and his love for the game, and it's so true. But Matthew too was making a career for himself in the minor leagues, in the ECHL, AHL, um, and he had that heart that Johnny did, and it's really a shame that both of their lives came to an end far too quick. For Johnny, I mean, just a superstar in the game, an undersized forward. Somebody who played the game the right way. A player that every other player in the league couldn't really find a bad thing to say about. Went to a place like Columbus when he hit unrestricted free agency, a place that many free agents have no interest in going. And he made himself the face of that franchise. And for their lives to come to an end like that in such a tragic way, um, it's something that's really beyond words. And I feel for their families. I feel for their loved ones. I know that there are a lot of hockey players that I'm associated with that have had and currently and had a very strong relationship with Johnny and Matthew alike. And don't drive when you're drunk. Don't do it. These two brothers were there for their sister's wedding, going on a bike ride on a summer night, and somebody had to be stupid, and and this is the result, and this is the consequence. So while it happened a while ago, Shades, like you said, at the end of August or so, it's something that the NHL community won't soon forget. And I wish Columbus a really special year because I know a lot of their players are hurting. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's more than just the players. I mean, it's basically two whole fan bases and across the league, really.
yeah, across multiple leagues, um,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's that one's a really tough one to swallow.
Yeah.
You know, so rest in peace to them both.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I still can't believe that we're actually talking about this, that this actually happened.
But Shades, when you mentioned that you were on Twitter that morning and it's something that you didn't want to believe, I was on Twitter that night and like 2 a.m. And that's when the tweets really started circulating. Like, something may have happened, and there was a lot of criticism thrown towards the accounts who had put that out there initially. Because if you're wrong about something like that,
Yeah.
you're putting a scare into a lot of people. But yeah, I kind of went to sleep with a pretty sick feeling in my stomach, and to wake up and to have that be true, you know, it's something you never really think would happen. Like I go across sports, right? I mean, Jose Fernandez when he passed away, in the MLB, budding superstar, starting pitcher for the Marlins. I mean, just came out of nowhere. Um, but this one's a little bit different because this was straight up murder. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's putting it nicely.
yeah, so
And I'm actually, you brought up Jose Fernandez. I was actually on a like one of those mini cruise things when I was on vacation in Miami last year,
yeah,
and we actually passed the spot where that accident happened on his
wow,
boat.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah, it's wild stuff, but the world lost two people, let alone hockey players that didn't need to be lost like because of a stupid decision in a tragic accident that unfolded. And Jeez. I mean, frankly speak, I hope the guy rots away for the rest of his life in prison. That just to start off with. But
As do I. But Shades, I don't want it to go without saying, what a beautiful career for Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew too. But when you look at what Johnny did and how he was able to captivate the hearts of two cities, you know, again, an undersized forward, terrific in college in Boston. Um, but just I just think it's worth celebrating both of their careers. The tragedy that this happened, but special, special players and two players that meant a lot to the growth of the game.
yeah, and one other thing you said, it's like nobody has a bad thing to say about him. That just goes to show you how much of a special person he really was.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Because,
tough.
yeah, how many times over the course of, a professional athlete's career has he gotten into, either an argument or two, a fight or two, a personal grudge that lasted years? Like, you don't hear about any of that with him.
I remember. I don't know if you remember this story, but back at the trade deadline a couple years ago, he didn't show up to morning skate, and everyone was freaking out that he got traded. And he came out, spoke to the media, and just said, "Yeah, I just had to pee." Just a really just funny memory, of Johnny. But like you said, not a bad thing. Only happy memories.
Yeah,
You know, so
that is pretty funny.
yeah, yeah,
I love when people do that.
yep.
But since we are on the subject, I actually need to bring this up also. So I'm actually going to share the article that was put out by the Sports Hit List. We actually did lose one of our friends, which looked, I mean, it was, I'm not, you know what, I'm just not going to say what the issue was, but we did end up losing one of our friends involved in the hockey show and in the group chat. And he was literally 33. So yeah, that was a rough pill to swallow the other night, finding that out.
He
So,
passed away.
yep.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so that was, I mean, and he had like a really, really young child too, which makes it even like 10 times worse for me.
Yeah.
But Clint, love you, buddy. Miss you, buddy. And can't wait to watch hockey with you when we meet up again, my friend. So rest in peace to all three of those guys. Well, we move on from that to the bizarre situation that came between the Boston Bruins and Jeremy Swayman that unfolded over the course of the last few days. Um, I mean, I wasn't paying too much attention to this up until the press conference from the Boston Bruins, where they threw out the $64 million comment. And I honestly, I'll be honest. Yeah, way to repeat yourself, Mike. The week before, I was sick. I had the fantasy hockey draft for one of my leagues, and the only reason I remembered that he wasn't signed was because I was actually hanging out with Brendan at his house. We were playing NHL Hits. Still a fucking great game to this day. And he was the one that brought it up to me that he was still not signed, and I had completely forgotten about that. And then the press conference happens, and then this whole situation goes AWOL, like basically turns itself on a dime. And he has since signed, but I want to know what your thoughts on base more so on the comments made from, was it Don Sweeney or was it who was the one talking beside him? Anyway, what were your thoughts on that whole situation and how that whole thing unfolded?
Yeah, I think there's two ways to look at it, right? But in my personal opinion, I think the Bruins executives were being honest. I think that was the number. I think it was 64 million. You know why I think that? Because he signs for 64.25.
Now, what if it wasn't
Just about
and
the
they
number.
hypothetically, what if it wasn't and they backed themselves into a corner because of a stupid comment?
Could have been that too. It could have. But my opinion is what I said before. You know, I just think that's what it was. And I think when the number came out, I think Swayman kind of didn't know how to react, and then his agent kind of came out and went against what the Bruins execs were saying, and but the fact that that number was where it was, that's what leads me to come to the decision. But I mean, Jeremy's a great goaltender. I mean, he deserves the contract. If he was not going to get it from Boston, I'll tell you one thing for sure: he would have gotten it from somebody else. I think Detroit absolutely would have given him that same contract. I think another team in need of a goaltender would have done the same thing. And he is arguably right. I'd say a top five goalie in the league right now, top five, top seven. So that's the price you pay. And when Igor Shesterkin is asking for north of 12 million, maybe the Bruins got to look themselves in the mirror and say, you know what, that might be a little bit of a steal for Swayman, and that's why they were quick to sign at 64 million. But it could have been the way that you thought, Shades. But I just happen to think the other way.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll never truly know because we weren't, involved in the phone conversations or in the room that any of these conversations happen. So, I mean, the best you and I could do is speculate from afar,
Right, exactly.
and go based on what people on Twitter say, which don't do that to yourself.
But the bottom line is the contract is signed. Swayman and Korpisalo will be the tandem come opening night. And again, the Bruins have a really, really good starting goaltender and somebody who has earned that contract. He's earned it.
Yeah.
He has earned it.
What was the official terms again? It was 8 by 8.5?
No, 8.25.
8.25. Gotcha.
Yeah. So
I would love to hear the actual story come out years from now and saying, yeah, no, they weren't going to give him more than a 3-year deal. Then they made the comment and backed themselves into a corner and were forced to sign him at that point.
right.
It's interesting stuff.
But either way, I think that the relationship definitely,
Took a hit.
might have taken a hit during negotiations. So, and that's always a risk, right? When you're dealing with a
Yes.
contract and an important contract like Swayman.
Yeah, no, because if there is one thing I've learned from watching contract situations play out from afar,
Yeah,
one side never directly puts the number out because bad things happen.
yep.
And
Yeah.
I think that's what we saw.
I thought it was a ballsy move going out with it anyway. You know,
Yeah.
my opinion on it. I mean, I just think contract terms before they're finalized.
Yeah.
That's a gray area that I just wouldn't touch, especially when talking to the media. And I say that as part of the media. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Now, obviously, if it's something like the dollar amount is set and they're just going over whether they want to put out or excuse me, give out like a no trade or a partial no trade or something like that, at that point it's okay because the number itself is fully agreed upon.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if I would even go there, but yeah, I think more acceptable than what the Bruins did,
Yeah.
for sure. But then why the need for a press conference? Why don't you just hammer out the rest of the deal and then have the press conference later? So it's just
Who
just a
knows?
little bit,
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know, a little bit
strange.
fishy, a little strange. But again, like I said before, the bottom line is the deal got done.
Yeah, I'm no Bruins fan, but good on Swayman for getting a bag.
Yeah, good on him. He and again, totally earned it.
Oh
One
yeah.
of the best young goaltenders in the league, and a big reason why the Bruins contended at all last year. Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and as Swayman, as a lot of people on Twitter were saying, resets the restricted free agent goalie market. You mentioned it earlier with Igor. He's probably going to reset the unrestricted free agency goalie market, and I am terrified.
Makes two of us.
But are you as scared as the free agency episode from earlier this year?
No, not quite as good.
That was funny.
Yeah.
I
We'll
missed that
see. We'll see
episode.
how it all works out. To be determined.
Yeah, yeah. Now, on to what I am not going to sugarcoat it is a dumbass tweet from earlier today from from Frank Seravali. Jesus Christ. See, vintage Pucks and Brews right here. You see this crap?
Yep.
Now, I forgot to bookmark the actual tweet, but it was in regards to which team he thinks is going to win the draft lottery this year. And he said the Columbus Blue Jackets, which I didn't have a problem with. The problem was with how he worded this with a little help, and I quote, with a little help from Gaudreau. How tone deaf do you have to be?
It's horrible, and it wasn't necessarily a tweet shades. It was
Excuse me, an
it
article.
was it was a snippet from his article.
Yeah, my bad on that.
I don't think that he had any malicious intent by that, but just don't leave his name. Don't put his name in there. Like, let him rest. You know, I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think Frank's a bad guy, but I think that was a very poor choice of words. And, doubling down by putting it on social media.
Bless you
This is no
again.
matter.
You're right. These
You
are
know,
funny sneezes.
it's funny. We took the 10 minutes off, right? And I didn't sneeze at all
Oh,
during
of
the.
course.
And then I get back on. I'm allergic to Frank Seravali's article and tweet. That's what I'm trying to say.
There was three so far. Yeah, no, I don't think he's a bad guy either, but there are times, bless you, holy crap.
Thank you.
There are times where smart people say stupid things. And
And
this is one of those times.
yes, this is one of those times. Yeah. Well said.
Keep in mind that also went through an editor, apparently. So either one of them did not realize how that was going to go over, or the editor just saw it and didn't see a problem with it. But either way, it's just that shouldn't have been posted the way it was posted.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah. That's really all I have to say on that one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, be better next time. That's all I have to say.
Yep.
Now, on to our beloved New York Rangers. I will be perfectly honest with you. I have not watched a single second of the preseason just because preseason hockey and preseason with any sport for that matter, I just do not care anymore. Like you could not, like you would have to pay me at this point to watch because there is just it's beyond meaningless. So I just stopped paying attention. The only time it's worth paying attention is when your team is in the middle of a rebuild and you're legitimately rooting for more than one player to make the team out of camp. Hockey, you rarely ever see that. Football is a little different because you actually have 2 to 3 roster spots that are being played for. But hockey, like most of the time, if this one prospect doesn't make it and gets cut early in camp, it's just not worth watching.
Yeah. I'm not quite to that level. I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch, but not watch as closely for sure. There's a couple of players I have my eyes on, but like you said, you make a valid point. With the Rangers no longer in a rebuild, the likelihood of young players cracking the roster, never mind the top six role on the roster, like a Brennan Othman, for example, is pretty slim. And what do you know? Like Othman's probably not going to make the team. I believe he actually did get sent down already.
I believe so. Yeah.
You know, so again, just ready for the opener coming up here against Pittsburgh this week. I'm excited. Always a fun time facing the Penguins on the road.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. As long as Chris Letang doesn't swing his stick at anybody.
Yeah.
Still not over that.
Yeah. Excited to see Sid another season. Signs 8 by 8.7 excuse me, 2 by 8.7. Uh, Probably his last contract of his career. So
Maybe. You never say never.
yep, we'll see.
Yeah, yeah. We will. That opener to the season is at 7:30 Eastern time on Wednesday. I will be working, so I can't watch the game, unfortunately. And they also play, come on, phone. You gotta love technology.
Yeah.
They also play at home for the home opener on Saturday against the Utah Hockey Club, which I am not going to be able to watch either because I will be upstate. So this is not going to be a good start to the season for me.
Just hopefully the Rangers go 2-0, and when you're back to watching again, it'll be
Hopefully.
so.
I hope so, man, because the game I'll actually be able to watch is Monday the 14th against the Red Wings, which is the second home game and the third game of the season. So that I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it's a fun one. Patrick Kane and the Red Wings.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of Patrick Kane and the Red Wings, I actually have him and DeBrincat on my fantasy team.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah, I went with more of an emphasis on trying to get a couple players on the same team this year.
Yeah.
So I got him and Kane. Did I have anybody else from Detroit? No, but I do have Riley Smith.
There you go. Good pickup, sneaky one.
Yeah. I would have picked Swayman had he been under contract, but instead I settled for Saros, which I'm very happy about.
This is
Yeah, so basically, I mean, with the preseason coming to an end basically tonight or tomorrow. Uh Tomorrow, well, I technically it's over already because tomorrow night's game got canceled between the Predators and the Lightning. I forgot what the reason for that was. Could that be because of the hurricane thing?
yeah,
Or
yeah, Hurricane Helene. Yeah.
okay. I just wanted to make sure because I just saw that it got canceled. I didn't look into it any further. But Tuesday night, the season officially starts. It's currently Monday, October 7th. I'm all over the place. Season starts tomorrow, Tuesday, October 8th, tonight, as of the day we're releasing this episode. And hockey's officially back.
Exciting.
It's, yeah, hockey and football in full swing right now. This is a good time of the year. This is a good time of the year, unless you're a Jets fan and you're just cursed, which we are.
Like us. Yeah.
Like extremely cursed. I had this. You heard us talk about the two games from earlier in the episode. It cursed. Just cursed.
Tough.
Tough and rough. But with that being said, Liam, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
It is officially time for the 2024-2025 NHL season predictions. And I promise you right now, we will make this no longer than last year because it's going to be significantly shorter.
Yeah.
We went on a long, 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 long time last year, which was fun, but never again. Just never again. So let's start off in the Western Conference. I'm just going to go top to bottom here. Excuse me, bottom to top here based on the app standings, NHL app standings. The Pacific is all the way on the bottom. So let's start off with this. Anaheim Ducks, Calgary Flames, Edmonton Oilers, Los Angeles Kings, the San Jose Sharks, Seattle Kraken, Vancouver Canucks, and Vegas Golden Knights. I believe
And the
that
Utah.
once again, the
Right?
Anaheim Ducks will finish last in this division. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I actually am going to go Anaheim because San Jose made sneaky amount of good moves, which I think will propel them ahead of them in the division. And this is honestly a somewhat good division outside of two teams who that's just my opinion. Who do you got in your eight spot, Liam?
This is going to be a little bit of a hot take, quite literally. I think Calgary's going to finish last.
I had a feeling that's where you were going.
Yep.
I'll be honest with you. I'm doing this on the fly, but I didn't have them finishing much higher either because I think they will finish seventh in the division, right behind the Seattle Kraken, because I think they have a year to go before they're back in it. And with that being said, Anaheim, Calgary, Seattle, I think the Sharks will take a minor jump up to fifth in the division behind the Los Angeles Kings. And gee, wow, my camera is really out of focus. What the fuck? Dude, holy shit. This is bad even for this. My God.
Yeah, this is tough. You might need the water bottle.
What the or that. Dude, holy crap.
Well, for me, Shades, while you get your camera back on, in the,
Apparently my webcam doesn't like my predictions.
yeah, in the seventh spot, I have San Jose. I don't have them making that jump that you do. I think Macklin Celebrity is going to be great for them, but I think they still have a lot to figure out, especially at some key positions. Curious to see how Yaroslav Askarov does. New member rather of the San Jose Sharks, coming from the Preds organization. But for me, I just think they're still in clear rebuild mode. And I think when you look at the other teams still in the division, I'm not as low on Seattle as you might be. And obviously, I'm a little bit higher on Anaheim. So for me, that's where I have San Jose. So Calgary 8, San Jose 7. And I'll go Anaheim 6 since you went 6 too. So I'll go Anaheim 6.
Yeah, I'm actually making our lists on the fly. That way we can revisit it later in the season when, of course, everything is going to be wrong because that's just our luck.
Right.
But all right, Flames. I had Ducks, Flames, and then the Kraken, Sharks. There's always a team that surprises. I have a feeling that's going to be the Sharks. Well, at least, to an extent. Now, on to top four, which I
Oh,
mean,
wait. Should I get my 5 as
oh
well?
yes, you're five. Yes, absolutely.
So,
Sorry.
oh, no, all good. Anaheim 6, Seattle 5. So similar to you, but a couple switches.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see how wrong we are. And I apologize if this is a little discombobulated. We're literally doing this on the fly, like I said. We didn't have much time to prepare. This all came together very last minute. But I'm happy it did.
No, but I think we're throwing it out there. It's good.
Absolutely. And hey, see, we're already going significantly faster than last year. You gotta love
You
it.
know, I'm proud. This is awesome.
As SpongeBob would say, because I mentioned it earlier, I am ugly and I am proud.
Yes, this is called improvement, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, who do you have in your
Progress.
4 spot, Shades?
In the four spot, I believe the Los Angeles Kings.
Okay.
Still, I mean, obviously they're getting it together slowly, but I mean, I still feel like they have some work to do. They're not going to be a bad team, but I just considering that division and how things have played out, I think they're bound for the four spot.
Shades, I cannot argue Vegas higher than 4. So I'm going Vegas at 4.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I know you're not exactly their biggest fan, but
I think they are going to have a drop off, though. No Marcia, so the roster looks a lot different. Goaltending, Samsonov is now in the net. So big trade to the Capitals for Logan Thompson. So, it has the potential to get a little bit wary in Vegas. So I'm going to go 4 spot, and they'll be contending in the wild card.
yeah, I have a feeling they have one more year before they start to drop out of one of the division spots.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I have them in the three spot.
There you go. Yep.
Who is in your three spot?
I have the Vancouver Canucks in my 3 spot. I think there are some question marks with the Canucks, but I think they are a playoff team. I don't think they're ready to make that jump towards the top of the division quite yet. And I think there's 2 teams that are better. I'll get to them in a moment.
Getting to my two spot is where I have the Canucks because if you look at them from last year, I'm pretty sure they finished first in that division.
Yep.
And as the course of the season played out, they weren't exactly an offensively gifted team outside of a couple of players. They were on the lower end with goals scored out of all the playoff teams, which surprised me a little bit. But the fact that they were able to finish as high in the standings as they did, I I think they can grab the two spot in this division.
Yeah, see where you're coming from for sure. For me, Shades in my two spot. I had them making a big jump last year. I think I had them winning the division. This year, I'm still high on them. I'm going to have them finishing second. It's the Los Angeles Kings. Let's get it done. Young team, good mix of veterans. Drew Doughty injured to start the season. Of course, that hurts, but it's a long year. And, Darcy Kemper now in the net. I think there's some more answers, and the crease is more stable than it's been in the last few years, ever since Jonathan Quick left and wasn't a starting goaltender anymore. And this is the year I think they're going to make that big jump, finishing in the second spot.
And that leaves just one spot on both of our lists, and it is a team that we have not mentioned yet. The Stanley Cup finalists,
Yeah.
the team that almost came back from 3-0 down in the Stanley Cup final, but alas, did not and lost in game seven, the Edmonton Oilers, which I firmly believe that they're going to run away with this division this year.
All right. I am of the same mind as you, Shades. I think Edmonton is going to win this division. I think they'll win it by 8 to 12 points. So I think they'll be comfortable most of the year. Of course, they reached the Stanley Cup final last year. They finally figured it out. Stuart Skinner is a bona fide number one starter in this league that can take you to a Stanley Cup final, specifically take you to game 7 of a Stanley Cup final. So I think that's a really good sign. And every single game they play, Shades, they have the best player on the ice.
Yep, which I was lucky enough to draft first overall in my league.
There you go. And you know what? Also with the Oilers Shades, Chris Knobloch,
Former Ranger coach,
former coach of the Hartford Wolfpack, he's doing something special over there. So don't discount coaching. So Edmonton squarely in that first spot in the Pacific, no doubt.
Yeah, the Rangers are looking like they lost a good one there,
Yeah,
which is unfortunate, but I'm not going to harp on it.
I'm happy with Laviolette. We'll
Yeah, I'm
see.
happy.
We'll see how happy I am in June of next year. We'll see what's going
I already know I'm going to be pissed off. I already know. It's
on. More
just,
than likely, yes. More than likely, yes. But we'll see.
oh, 100%. Okay, on to the Central Division. Obviously the once looked upon insanely stacked Central Division,
Yep.
not really anymore. But the Blackhawks, Avalanche, Stars, Wild, Predators, Blues, Utah Hockey Club, and Winnipeg Jets. Now, number 8, I believe that Chicago has 1 year left in the 8 spot in this division before they start to make that big jump. I still think that they have a year to go before a lot of their young players take a step. But I'm not saying this as an insult, putting them in the 8 spot. I just believe that if you look at some other teams in this division who they are definitely not going to finish in front of, it's just, I feel like that is a little bit more of a safe pick than not.
Yeah. I am going with the Chicago Blackhawks as well, Shades. I think they've made a lot of improvements, but I think this division is going to be pretty competitive. So having them eighth doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be one of the league's worst teams. I think they still could be in the mix earlier in the year. I think Bedard is going to have a sensational sophomore season.
Yeah.
But still, with that said, they're the worst team in this division right now. But I think in the next year or two, I think that can definitely flip because there are going to be some teams in the Central this year that drop off inevitably. It's going to happen, and I'll get to mine in just a moment with my 7 spot. But who do you got?
In the 7 spot, I don't think this is going to surprise you too much, but I have the Utah Hockey Club.
You surprised me.
I I was thinking about putting Minnesota 7th, but at the same time, Minnesota never finishes that far down.
We are on different wavelengths, my friend, because on the 7th spot, I have the St. Louis Blues.
Yeah, I have literally, I'll just skip ahead a little bit here. Between
Yeah,
Utah, St. Louis, and Minnesota, I have those three teams above the Blackhawks and
yeah.
rightfully so.
I think the Blues are due for another not setback year, but I don't think they're going to be contending for the playoffs. I just don't. So Chicago 8, St. Louis 7.
I think it's just going to take a year to erase the Arizona Coyote stench off of the Utah Hockey Club.
Yeah, yeah, agreed.
Yeah, no, they still have a long way to go as well. But I have Utah. I have Utah in my seventh spot. Although St. Louis I have in my sixth spot because I think that is their ceiling
In my sixth spot, I have the Minnesota Wild as well. So I agree.
as well.
What?
I had St. Louis in my sixth spot.
Oh, sorry. My fault. Misheard you there. Uh,
It's all
but
good. It's all
but
good.
but yeah, Minnesota in 6 for me.
Now, I have Minnesota in my five spot because I think this is also that team's ceiling. See, the Blues and the Wild are in a weird spot because they're not exact, like, you don't look at them and go, that's a playoff team, but you also don't look at them and go, that's a bottom five team or a bottom three team.
Yeah. Shades in my 5 spot. I have the Winnipeg Jets.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
A team that is due for a decline, I think, is Winnipeg this year. Just a very, very disappointing showing in the playoffs. Um, but on to number 4, Shades. Who are you looking at?
I was probably going to go the Winnipeg Jets here because
Okay.
I look at Colorado, Dallas, and what Nashville did last year, and I go, Winnipeg, I think, is a better team than the teams I've already mentioned, but they're not any of those three teams. They're kind of, I don't know. I just look at them and go, that seems like the reasonable spot for them.
Right on. Shades. In my 4th spot is the Utah Hockey Club, and they're making the playoffs.
I like it. All right.
You got to be bold. And I hope you're writing this down, by the way,
I
still.
am. I
Okay.
yes. Yes,
All
I
right.
am. I got
Awesome. There you go.
proof.
Uh, so Utah at 4, and then in our top 3,
Hey,
it's
what
the
do you know?
same
My camera
team.
stayed in focus.
There you go.
All right. All right. So you have Winnipeg 5 and Utah 4. I have
Yeah.
Minnesota and Winnipeg 5-4.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're a little bit different this year, which I like it because I mean, we're usually mostly on the same page. So to get a little bit of a different,
Got to be
you know,
bold. Got to be bold.
gotta be, yeah, just like I've been with the freaking Senators. But yeah, I'm not falling for that trick again. Not falling for that trick
Don't give
again.
it away. Don't give it away. I'm excited.
I'm not falling for that one again.
All right.
Top three. We got the Colorado Avalanche, the Dallas Stars, and the Nashville Predators. I am going to be bold here and say Colorado finishes third.
Not a bad pick.
Then again, I don't know how bold I'm being if I'm still technically calling them a playoff team, but I have a feeling that, with Landeskog still out, they're still trying to figure something out there. And I don't know, I just can't take Georgiev as a serious goaltender to lead a team to winning a division.
For me, Shades in the 3 spot. I'm going different from you. I'm going with the Nashville Predators. I think they're going to make the playoffs comfortably, but I don't think they're going to finish second or first. So
Now, I have the Predators second because
yeah,
this is a team that just they should not be where they are right now, but they are.
right.
And they just got better over the course of the season last year. And they continue to make good moves. And you and I both know this with the regular season. Like a team always exceeds expectations, one or two in each division. We have that one team in each conference every year that falls significantly below expectations, but I believe the Predators sneak into that two spot.
All right. For me, in the number 2 spot, I have the Colorado Avalanche. You had Colorado at 3. I have Colorado at 2. The same reasons that you had Colorado at 3 is why I don't have them winning at the division. So
All right, I like to, and once again, we are on the same page about a team winning the division because you and I both have the Dallas Stars winning the Central Division.
Yep.
And I mean, remember the long rant I went on? Well, it wasn't really a rant, but lo the long appreciation I went on that kickstarted the 2.5 hour episode last year about the Stars.
Yes, I remember.
I still like their team on paper. They still got an all-around great defensive core, all-around good depth on the offense with some very, very good young players leading the way there, and Jake Ottinger in net. Can't go wrong.
For all the reasons you just said, Dallas at number one.
Can't go wrong. So far, you and I have the Oilers and the Stars. Let's see if we differ over the course of the next two divisions here, because we're jumping to the Eastern Conference.
Yep.
First, let's start off, obviously, with the Atlantic Division. Obviously, the usual suspects here. The Florida Panthers, the Stanley Cup champions, the Toronto Maple Leafs, who can't make it far in the playoffs, the Boston Bruins, who have been exceeding expectations the last few years, if I'm being honest, the continuously disappointing Red Wings, the Montreal Canadiens, the I'm never falling for that shit again, Ottawa Senators, the Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Buffalo Sabres. Number 8. I'm going to start off with you this one. Who do you got?
The tough division, Shades.
This is a very tough division, and I think it's going to be closer than people realize.
In my 8th spot, I have the Montreal Canadiens. Patrick Laine gets injured in training during the preseason.
What luck, seriously.
You know, they're a young team, and again, this division is stacked. So I guess they're 8 by default.
Yeah, and that's not a slight on them. I
It's
mean,
not.
this
No.
is this is a team similar to the sort of similar to the Blackhawks. Like their breakout is coming, but it's not there yet.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna take some time. Who do you have in your 8th spot, Shades?
I also have the Montreal Canadiens. I
All
mean,
right.
look, Yurov Slavkovsky is looking like he's coming into his own, but you just look at that team and you go, yeah, I think every other team in the division is better.
Yeah.
On to number 7.
Shades, I have to. The
Hold
Ottawa.
on, hold on, hold on. I'm not falling for this again. I'm going before you say it, I'm going the Ottawa Senators in 7 this year.
And so am I.
I'm not falling for them again this year.
Yeah,
Fool
yeah,
me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you did that last year. Fool me 3 times, go to hell.
yeah, yeah, 100%. That's where I fall in Ottawa. I think they've made improvements, but I'm not falling for it. Got to prove it.
Yeah, I'm at that point with them too. And it's just like they keep kind of taking a sideways step instead of a step forward.
Got to show me you're a playoff team, not have a roster that looks good on paper. So it's time for them to put it together. So I have them at 7, as you do as well.
And you and I both don't think that they're going to put it together.
Yeah.
Sad. It's sad to see, but prove it. Now, this is where things get interesting because you can, out of the 6 teams remaining, you could make a legitimate argument that each team is a playoff team. With that being said, I got Detroit in 6.
Oof. Wow.
Look, I like Steve Yzerman as a GM, but I mean, these last couple of years, the results are not there.
We are okay. Gotcha.
There was like I'm kind of hitting Ottawa territory with them. It's just like I'm waiting for them to break out, waiting for them to break out. And last season, I'm just like, wow, this okay. I just don't see it this year.
For me, Shades in the 6th spot, I'm going with the Buffalo Sabres. Same reason as the Ottawa Senators, waiting for them to break out, and they just never do. So you got to prove it. So for now, I have them in 6th.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You okay? Good. Gotta love Pucks and Brews, and most importantly, you gotta love technology because Liam's camera just went out. So he has the Buffalo Sabres in the 6th spot. Well, I have the Detroit Red Wings. Like I said, they gotta prove me and him are on the same wavelength about them needing to prove it. I just don't see it with them because I don't know. as much as like I said, as much as I like Yzerman as the GM, I think he's just been the team itself has been very underwhelming the last few years, and they need to prove it to me. Just like Liam needs the Sabres to prove it to him, I need the Red Wings to prove it to me. With that being said, I have the Buffalo Sabres in the 5 spot for the reasons that Liam just mentioned. This is literally the third team in a row that we've been going on about. They need to prove it. They need to prove it. They don't prove it. That's why I can't put them any higher than 5.
Yeah, I mean, Shade, sorry for that little hiatus there, everybody. In
You're
my
good.
five spot, the Boston Bruins.
So you're taking the approach that I took last year with them.
Yes.
That's all I had to say about that. You're taking the approach that I took last year with them. Now I have them in 4.
Okay.
Now that means they're not necessarily a playoff team, but they'll be in the wild card race because what has Boston done the last few years that the Senators, the Sabres, and the Red Wings haven't done? They've actually proved it and made the playoffs and exceeded expectations.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Good point. I'm banking on the potential of some of those teams. And with that said, for me, in the 4th spot, Tampa Bay.
I had a feeling you were going the Lightning in that one.
Yep. I just feel like the top 3 teams are better. I think, Stamkos was such an engraved part of that forward core. And while Jake Gensel is a great player, I think replacing a player that's been with the team his entire career and has captained the team for most of that time and replacing him with a winger that may or may not work out with the system, line mates, you never know. So for me, I think they'll still be in contention. I'd be a fool to say they won't be, but not in the top 3.
And there's the sneeze.
End of rant. All right.
I should have been like keeping track of all these sneezes. Bless you. Had like a mini counter going in like the corner or something. That would have been fun. But I have the Lightning in the 3 spot because I just look back. Bless you. Bless you. I just look back at when they won their first of 2 cups. They did not need Steven Stamkos, which was very eye-opening. Bless you in advance. Bless you. They did not need Stamkos to win that cup, which was extremely eye-opening to how deep and how good that team actually was, with or without him, which is why I still think they could finish top 3. Do I see them? Oh my goodness gracious. Do I see them as an actual cup contender? As of now, no. But will that change, later on in the season? Perhaps.
Shades, I'm predicting the jump for the Detroit Red Wings that you do not think is going to happen. They're going to finish in the 3 spot.
I think that's a little bit bold. But hey, we're being bold here, aren't we?
Have to be. And I think they'll acquire a big time goaltender at the deadline because they have to.
Maybe. Bless you. My goodness.
2 spots, Shades. What do we got?
The reigning and defending Stanley Cup champions,
Wow.
Florida Panthers.
Wow. Okay.
I will give you this one reason. The Maple Leafs eventually have to win this division. Bless you in advance. They have to win this division at some point. I'm just going to take a leap of faith and say it's this year. That's literally my only reason why I'm putting the Panthers in the 2 spot and the Maple Leafs at 1. The Maple Leafs still have a very good team, and there's always one division winner every year that you look at and go, okay, I didn't see that coming, but it happened. It's got to be the year for the Maple Leafs to finally win this division. I mean, it's been like 7 years now.
Yeah, I have a jump coming from the Maple Leafs, but not quite that high. I have them finishing second. I love Craig Berube coaching the team. I think that's going to be awesome. And I think it's going to help their style, especially come playoff time for their top guys. But second is not a slight on the Leafs at all. That's a very good spot.
My goodness bless you.
Thank you.
And that leaves your number 1 of the Florida Panthers.
Yes, I think they are going to repeat as division winners.
I could very, oh my goodness gracious, really should have kept a counter. I could honestly see them having a little bit of Stanley Cup hangover in the beginning of the season and that costing them the division over the course of the season. Bless you.
Thank you. But yes, Florida at 1
And that is our first difference in the prediction so far.
for division winners. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
don't think
love how we're all on the same page, or are we on the same? No, we also differ with the Pacific, with the Flames and the Ducks last.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to differ on the division winner for the Metro.
We'll see. I was thinking about this somewhat earlier. We'll see.
All right. Let's do it.
Let's do it. And last but not least, on to our Metropolitan Division that the New York Rangers reside in. And well, let's just get right into it. I firmly believe that the Blue Jackets will finish last in the division once again. And unfortunately, the loss of Johnny Gaudreau is going to hurt them. And I have, bless you, you didn't sneeze once on the break again, did you?
I did not.
Of course. It's as soon as we press record, everything goes to hell. Yeah, but no, the loss of Johnny Gaudreau is definitely going to hurt. I think even had that tragedy not happened, I think they were still going to finish last because that team has a long way to go.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
All right.
I have Columbus in 8 as well.
Who you got in your 7 spot? This might my pick might surprise you.
Yeah, in my 7th spot, I have the Washington Capitals. I think they showed their first step at decline last year. And I think this year, again, the Metro is really stacked. So, again, much like the Atlantic, saying that, and some of the teams out west, saying that the with
Like,
the 7th spot is a bad team is not a valid statement. So I am going with the Washington Capitals in the 7th spot. They got Logan Thompson, another year of Alexander Ovechkin, some good young players. I like Marashnichenko. But really, the backbone of this team when they were contending was Nicholas Backstrom and TJ Oshie, two players that are not going to be playing with the team next season.
are you okay?
Washington 7. I'm trying to keep it together.
Oh my goodness.
I think I might set the Guinness World Record for amount of sneezes in a podcast episode.
Hey, maybe. You never know. And we're one closer.
Let's get the view counts up for this. I mean, this is a historic moment. Come on.
My God, I really, really should have been keeping a tracker.
You can
That's
do
a missed opportunity.
you can do it in post production.
Yeah, but then I have to rewatch the entire thing, and I don't want to do that because I'm on limited time here
Yeah.
over the next couple days. So
Who do you have at 7, Shades?
I I said this. Here comes your sneeze.
You got a few seconds. Go all you can.
I told you I was going to surprise you, and I think I will because in the 7 spot, I'm going to be bold here and predict the Penguins.
Okay. Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's be honest here. They're finally starting to trend downward after all these years. And with the, bless you in advance, with the way that the Metro, shook out last year, this division was low-key not good last year. You had 6 teams in the division out of the 8 finish with less than 41 wins, which the reason I chose 41 specifically is because that is half of the regular season. The only team to get 40 wins out of the bottom 6 last year was the Capitals. Surprisingly, bless you in advance. That's going to be a couple seconds. But I think the Capitals, at least on paper, got better, while the Penguins, I just think they're going to continue to, go in the downward trajectory after all the years of making the playoffs. Last year, I mean, they surprised me with where they finished, but I mean, I think it's just a ticking time bomb with them.
Yeah, I'll preface with my sixth spot with saying that these teams can be flip flopped. Um,
Oh, here it's just waiting.
no, no, okay. So yeah, Columbus 8, Washington 7, Pittsburgh 6. And I imagine you have Washington 6 here.
I do. I do. And I partially, but I thought about putting them at the 5 spot, but I was just like, I don't know, something is telling me that the Flyers are going to finish fifth in the division. Bless you.
And I agree. I also think the Flyers are going to finish fifth in the division. Yes.
Yeah, again, I mean, we talked about this a little last year. The Flyers are a very, very weird team because they looked like a couple years back they were going to be a team that was about to take off and become a legitimate contender, and that did not happen. In fact, quite the opposite happened.
Yep.
I don't know. They've been getting better like very slowly. I don't think they're a playoff team yet with the fifth spot, but that's where I have them.
Trades. In my fourth spot, here's my surprise.
Hurricanes.
Carolina. Yeah, I think they're the fourth best team in the division. I think they definitely took a hit this offseason in a lot of areas. And a partial reason why they're at 4 is because I'm so high at the team at 3. That we'll get to in a second.
Interesting. Okay. I have the Islanders in the 4 spot because I don't know if they did enough this season to solve their third period woes from last season. I mean, obviously time is going to tell, but they were one of the worst third period teams in the entire league last season. That was a team that could not hold on to a lead to save their lives. And even though they finished above the Capitals last year, they had less wins. They finished ahead of them because of the overtime losses.
I'm predicting a big year for the Islanders. I like Anthony Duclair. I like the addition to play with Matthew Barzell. With that said, Shades, in the 3 spot, the New Jersey Devils.
Interesting.
I think they made some improvements, but I think when you win the offseason, you have to be, and they definitely won the offseason, right? I mean, the amount of money
Markstrom.
that they made, Markstrom, and you bring in Pesci as well from Carolina. They made
I
a lot.
really liked that signing, as much as I hate to say it.
Dougie Hamilton is back; he's healthy. I think they'll be a playoff team. Um, but I just have a big year for the Isles coming up, so that's why I have it too.
You have the Islanders at 2. So my 3 spot, I had the Islanders at 4. My 3 spot is the Hurricanes because yes, they did lose a lot, but that is a team that is just a well-oiled machine. They are arguably one of the best coached teams in the league. I don't well, actually that part I don't think is up for debate. I think they are one of the best coached teams in the league. But that spot just felt right with how things played out last season and the off season. That spot just feels right for them for me. And bless you in advance. And ay Dios míos. I, I have to name this episode something with sneeze in the title or pertaining to sneeze. I
Yeah,
have to.
yeah.
I don't know, sneezing world record. I don't know.
Sneezin preview.
Sne That's not bad. And that actually fits. Bless you. My goodness gracious. My goodness.
Over under 50 this episode.
Ooh, we might be over at this point. Nah, I don't know. It's close. It's very close.
We'll see.
So the number 2 spot, I have the New Jersey Devils.
Yeah.
I honestly I thought most of their problems laid with two reasons, the coaching and the goaltending, and I believe they got better on both fronts. At least in terms of the coach needed with the personnel that team has, if that makes sense.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a bounce back season and a big season. Well, I
Jake,
mean, we kind of spoiled it already, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't happen because it's the frickin' Rangers, but we have them at number one in the Metro.
I don't think they're going to win the President's Trophy again, but I think they're going to win the
I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't win the division because there's always a surprise every NHL season, if not multiple surprises, which there always are. But I mean, they're definitely a playoff team. There's no doubt about that. Unless things take, a massive downturn, which I don't see, but crazy things have happened. I mean, hey, they have one of the best goalies in the league, a very good, well, a good defense core. Uh, I mean, their forward group, in my opinion, still needs some work on paper, but time will tell if they've actually, if they'll make up some of the issues from last season that have persisted for a couple seasons now. But
Metro. They need
uh,
some players to step up for sure. They need another big time year from Igor. Peter Laviolette, needs to continue his strong coaching with the Rangers. Alexi Lafreniere needs to take another step. Capo Caco would like to see something out of him, even if he grows his defensive game. Maybe the offensive game is going to take more time, but maybe if he really gets elite at that area. The defense core, like you said, I mean, there's some good areas. I think Miller and Fox, that was a big point in the preseason. They are now being paired up with one another. Truba is now healthy again. I mean, Truba was an X factor last year, last couple of years. I mean, he struggled for sure. But his leadership was evident during the regular season. So I think he is going to be a plus for us, at least to start. Braden Schneider as well, rookie defenseman. Like last year, I think he's definitely going to grow, hopefully into a top four role. So I'm confident, and I love the addition of Riley Smith. Just need Mika and Chris Kreider to get it going 5-on-5 at the start of the year. That's the big thing for me.
I'll be honest, I'm not hopeful about that because I've watched this play out for multiple seasons in a row now. So until they do it for an extended period of time, I'm gonna stay. My opinion is gonna stay where it's at on that.
All right, we'll see. But Rangers first in the division, same pick. So
All right, just for fun, who's your President's Trophy winner? You got four teams to choose from.
I am aware. I think Dallas probably takes it. I'll go with Dallas.
All right, I'll be bold and go the Oilers because I feel like they're gonna go on an early season rampage just out of anger, and then the usual mid-season mini dip, and then start back up strong heading into the playoffs. So just for fun, I'll go with the Oilers.
Shades, I'm going to throw it back at you. Stanley Cup pick and winner.
I just to switch it up so I don't pick a repeat team, I'll go Dallas.
To win,
Yeah.
I'm going to take my beloved New York Rangers because I have to. So
Hmm.
somebody's got to pick it.
This is true. This is true. But also, I need to see the improvements around the team for me to be confident in that.
But my hot take is Rangers are not going to be taking on the Stars in the Cup final. They're going to be taking on the Vancouver Canucks.
Okay, that's bold.
We're getting a repeat in '94, baby. Let's do it.
That is okay. So, well, now that we're technically in like the outro, I swear to God, if I have to go through another season of 94 comparisons, I'm gonna lose my mind. I don't think you understand how legitimately annoyed I was with all of that last season.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty crazy.
It was because I'm just in my head, I'm just going, there is literally not one single player left in the league from that season. Shut up. Bless you. There is maybe one or two referees, if that, and some of the current coaches. Is Paul Maurice the only one that was a head coach in the 90s?
I guess so. Yeah.
At least in that half of the first half of the 90s, because I think Laviolette started in the second half of the 90s.
Yeah.
So completely different league. Like literally, even the ownership groups have changed. I believe so. Or did Dolan come in that season?
I'm not sure.
Anyway, yeah. It's different people calling the shots up in upper management, with the president of hockey operations and the GMs and all that. It's a completely different league in general. So I'm sick of it. I don't want to fucking hear it. Like, just let this team be this team. Stop comparing them to when the team literally had like four future Hall of Famers. Bless you, which I don't believe that this team has. They maybe have two at the moment, possibly three, depending on, how things shake out. Bless you, but just stop the 94 comparisons. Oh my God. That's my rant for the episode. Bless you.
Yeah, I gotta get going here. I'm dying.
How much you want to bet as soon as we stop recording, you're gonna sneeze like you're gonna sneeze like once the rest of the night.
See. We'll see.
But yeah, I hope you enjoyed our significantly shorter, oh my God, a significantly shorter episode of our season predictions this year, as opposed to, like the 2 hours and 40 minutes or whatever it was last year. I promise never again. Oh my goodness gracious, Liam. Are you okay?
I don't know.
Well, you got 12 days to recover before you got to call your next game.
First game of the year.
Oh my God.
Let's hope I'm not sneezing.
Yeah, so with all of that being said, welcome back to the NHL season, everyone. Welcome back to Pucks and Brews for the season. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed all the things throughout the episode, including Liam sneezing, with the Pokemon and the Duncan and all that. Oh, again, not sponsored by Pokemon, just in case. Just in case, not sponsored. I wish. Oh my God. This is an all-timer. This, this is an
I'm
all-timer.
telling you, the title has to be Sneeze and Preview.
Sneezin, it has to be. We can't name it anything else at this point. Exactly.
All
So,
right. Yeah.
while I, try and get back in the groove for the season, thank you very much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit like and subscribe. That helps us a lot. Why did I just get in? Okay, I'll figure that out later. What the? Yeah, I'll figure that out later. Please leave a comment if you wish. Subscribe on all of the social media platforms you see in the description below. You got the podcast, Twitter and Instagram, as well as me and Liam's personal Twitters. That also helps, spread the word by word of mouth and retweet stuff or, share on Facebook, all of those things, because I forget to mention that a lot during the episodes. This has been Pucks and Brews, episode number, drum roll please. Nope, not 45. Bless you. 65, as Liam continues to sneeze. And let's go Rangers.
Let's go Rangers.